She wasn't getting close to me to know me. She was getting close to replace me. Act 2. The line that moved. By the time I realized Brielle had quietly made herself a fixture in my life, it already felt awkward to pull away. That's how she did things. Slow enough that resistance felt rude, but fast enough that you barely had time to think. She started waiting for me after work. Not every day, just enough to feel coincidental. "Are you heading out?" she'd ask, keys already in her hand. I was about to leave too. Sometimes I lied and said I had plans. Sometimes I really did. Sometimes I just didn't want company. But even then, she'd linger asking questions she didn't need answers to. "What are you doing later? Who are you meeting? Do you ever get lonely?" That last one always landed strange. It felt like she was asking for permission to fill a space I hadn't offered. Eventually, I agreed to hang out. Once. I told myself it would calm her down, normalize things, put everything back into a healthy box. We went to a small bar not far from my apartment, somewhere public, somewhere safe. She watched me the entire time. Not in a flirty way, not openly. It was more like she was studying how I existed, how I laughed, how I spoke to the bartender, how men responded to me without me doing anything. "You don't even try," she said, shaking her head. "It just happens for you." I shrugged. "It's not something I think about." She looked almost offended by that. "You're lucky," she said. "Some of us have to work harder to be seen." I didn't know what to say to that, so I sipped my drink and changed the subject. I talked about work, about random things, about nothing. But Brielle kept circling back to me, my dating life, my body, my confidence. She asked if I'd ever been with women. I laughed, thinking she was joking. "No," I said, "I'm straight." She smiled, but it didn't reach her eyes. "You never know," she said softly. "Energy doesn't lie." Something about the way she said that made my skin prickle. After that, she crossed into my personal space more often, sitting too close, touching my arm when she laughed, resting her head on my shoulder like it was normal. I pulled away gently, every time. I didn't want to embarrass her. I didn't want to overreact. But every boundary I tried to keep quiet, she treated like a suggestion instead of a rule. The moment it finally broke happened at her apartment. She'd been asking me to come over for weeks. I kept declining until one evening I was exhausted, emotionally tired of dodging, tired of explaining, tired of feeling like the bad guy for wanting space. I told myself I'd stay an hour, no more. Her apartment was clean, too clean, like no one actually lived there. There were candles lit, low music playing, wine already poured. I didn't know if you drank red or white, so I got both. That should have been my cue to leave. We talked. I stayed near the edge of the couch. She sat closer than necessary. Her knee touched mine. I shifted. She shifted back. "I feel like I can be myself around you. You don't judge me." "I'm glad," I replied, already standing. "But I should probably head out." She stood too. That's when it happened. She leaned in and kissed me. Not quickly, not by accident. It was deliberate, confident, like she'd been waiting for the right moment. I froze for half a second, just long enough for my brain to catch up to my body. Then I stepped back. No, that's not okay. Her face changed immediately. Not embarrassed, not apologetic, wounded. "I thought you felt it too," she whispered. "I don't, and even if I did, that's not something I ever gave you permission to explore." She laughed nervously, waving her hand like she could erase the moment. "Wow, okay, I was just playing, relax." But her eyes were glossy, hurt, angry, something darker under the surface. "I think I should go," I said. She didn't stop me. She didn't follow me to the door. She just stood there, arms crossed, watching me like she was trying to memorize the way I walked away. The next day at work, she was different. Quiet, cold, distant. She didn't sit near me, didn't text, didn't ask about my day. Relief washed over me so hard it almost made me dizzy. I thought the awkwardness would fade, that space would heal whatever fantasy she'd built in her head. I was wrong. Because what I didn't understand then was that for Brielle, rejection wasn't just painful, it was humiliating. And humiliation for someone like her doesn't turn inward. It looks for a target. And this time, it was me.